And then another.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you again for tuning into the Blitz Morning Show, and I am your host. Once again, my name is Toby Brendel. He is I, and I am him. It is April 11th, 2018, and what a day, what a day, what a day. And I wish Mother Nature would get her head out of her ass and give us half-decent weather. Again, Saskatchewan is going to be hit with an Alberta clipper later today with possible 4 inches of snow, freezing rain. But where it's hitting, it's not going to affect me per se. But it is going to hit between Regina and Saskatoon. So just right in basically the middle strip. So it's going to probably hit like maybe Swift Current, Regina, Moose Jaw, Saskatoon, Davidson. So, it's not going to, like I said, it's not going to hit basically me and Weyburn or Estevan, which, me personally, I'm not going to lose any sleep over. To me, that is nothing more than a sign of pure beauty. The highways are good. Everything's melting. We do not need more effing snow. Yes. What a beauty. So, last night, I was talking to one person, and they asked me what made me come up with Blitz Talks. And I figure that's a great opportunity to tell you guys where I got my idea from. So for the last 8 years, I've been listening to a particular radio station down in the States, KFAN, and the show that I listen to, it doesn't really coincide with what the station is about. It's about a sports station. The show, they do talk sports. It's not all 24-hour a day, 7 days a week sports on this particular show. They'll do sports when they have to, but yet otherwise they'll do random things like talk about music, movies, video games, television. And that's what I kind of gave me a little bit of a blip. Because, when you start tuning into a major market radio, they always have an agenda. Then they'll talk about the exact same thing. And usually it's more sports and news, politics. Nothing out of the extraordinary. And to me, that's the part that kind of baffles me. Why can't we have a channel where you don't break news, you just talk about it? And talking about it means, for example, like with that accident that happened on Friday with the Humboldt Broncos, we may not report, we may not break it saying, this is what happened 5 minutes ago, we were first on the scene. Instead, it'd be like, oh, wait, we are getting reports from so-and-so saying this happened. As we learn, we will talk to you about it. So we don't want to break it. We don't want to be first. Because with this day and age of Twitter, Facebook, all the social media, everybody has to be first. Huge mistake. When people are first, they tend to screw up. They want to get the information out there. They don't care if it's right. They don't care if it's wrong. They just want to be first. And if the opportunities are there to be first and be right, it's like a bragging right. But yet, when they're first and wrong, dear God, that's even worse, because you actually get labeled as the person who puts out bad news. And that's what we don't want to do. If there's a trade in the NFL, we want to talk about it. If the government releases budgets and we think it's worth talking about, we're going to talk about it. If Stormy Daniels wants to talk more about Donald Trump, we're not even going to talk about it. But if Hannah Brooks does a wonderful show, we'll talk about it. That's what we're about. Is it going to get traction? By the looks of how everything is going, it is gaining traction. Slowly but surely. The one that I'm going to have to say is being on the iHeartRadio network for the show. It may not broadcast live, but the podcasts are always available. It's going to give us that one extra step to grow. If we can get enough sponsors and things like that, like investments, I know that we can get put on iHeartRadio as a station, and we can blossom from there, turning something as simple as a little idea into something huge. Speaking about ideas and huge, tonight, yes, it's going to be a little weird, but it is do or die for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ah! Yeah, what I mean do or die. Right now, it is catching up with the finals. Well, no, not really catching up with the finals, but it is playing for the playoffs. All right, get this. They're playing Denver right now. Minnesota is in right now as we speak. Denver is tied with them right now as we speak. So tonight's game is the deciding factor to see who gets in and who goes home and packs up and leaves. Does Minnesota win? They get in. If Denver wins, they get in. And the loser goes home, head down, and disappointed. With the Timberwolves, they've been out of the playoffs for so long. It's been like 14 to 16 years that they missed the playoffs. Last time when they were in was when KG, or Kevin Garnett, was actually on the team, like in 2003 or 2004, something like that. Like, it's been that long, and their drought is just absolutely insane. So let's hope for them. Yet at the same time, one of the downfalls is when you skate over to the NHL. Minnesota Wild and the Winnipeg Jets are playing tonight for Game 1 of the playoffs. This is going to be really close, especially when you don't have Suter in the lineup because of his foot. What that takes away is Suter has like over 40 assists. Is that going to create that much of opportunity not for scoring goals, or will the other guys pick up? Because once you have Eric Stahl, he was tied with Gaborik for the most goals in a season. Then Jason Zucker, he scored, what was it, like 32 goals? And that's fifth most in the Wild history. Fifth most. As you can tell, Minnesota's really not a scoring team. And the more I listen to it, the more I learn. So, well, we will be right back right after this break, and you are listening to the Blitz Morning Show right here on Blitz Talks Radio. Morning Show. I'm your host. My name is Tom.